Hey guys, what's up? Joe, morning coffee. How's it going? I'm still getting used to this mic. Am I like, do I have to put my face here all the fucking time, or can I talk from here? I mean, what I have to do? I don't know. All right, guys, welcome to Joe's Book Club. I hope you guys been reading, and hope you guys been studying, and hope you guys been maximizing your time and learning a new skill, and I don't know what else you could be doing. I mean, I'm sure you guys have free time, so shame on you if you haven't read a book. Today's book review. This is by Edelman. The Truth About Money, the 4th edition. Just to show you how bad of a preparer I am, I just literally went on Wikipedia right now to read about this guy. I mean, I have an idea who he is, but he's the main co-founder of Edelman Financial Services. So, he does personal financing for people and stuff like that, help them out. He has his own show by the Syndicate Solution. He even had like a television show, The Truth About Money. He donated $25 million to the Edelman Fossil Park and Rowan University. Alright, cool stuff. So anyways, this guy knows his shit. So in a way, this guy's kind of like Dave Ramsey. Usually I fucking read books all the way to the end before I make a book review, right? But I'm so fucking, I just need this much to read. I'm sure I can finish this today. And as you can see, this shit is a thick ass book, and it took me a while to read. It's only till like the past few days I decided to, like, you know what, fuck it. I just not play video games, not go online, and just want to finish this goddamn book, right? So I'm almost there, so I figure, fuck it, I'll just give a review. I mean, overall, I kind of have an idea of how it's gonna end, in a way, but yeah, first of all, even though this book is very thick, this guy, he did a really good job writing this shit. He really liked at first I thought it was just gonna be nothing filled by information, like data and stuff. I mean, there is, but for the most part, like, this guy, he does a good job of explaining things in a manner that's not boring, right? And like, I think that's very important when especially when you read something that you're not familiar with, is, having a book that explains something to you in a manner that's not fucking boring. If you don't understand much about finances and money and taxes and I don't know what the fuck and the coding and I mean, the terminology that they use, and there could be a lot, right? I've been reading about this kind of stuff for a while, so I have a very smaller understanding of it, so it wasn't too bad for me, right? But this is definitely not an introduction book. I don't think you want to learn more about finances and whatnot. I don't think this should be the first book for you to get. If you're the type of person that grew up with a family that, like, the moment they got a credit card, they're like, all right, let's go fucking burn the shit up, or the type of family where, like, there's always money to buy beer and all kinds of stupid shit, but there was never enough money to pay the bills, then yeah, you definitely need to improve your finances goals, and maybe you need some therapy. But the way how this book starts out, I think was great. And, he basically introduces you why you need to learn about money and like all the stuff and how things have changed since, your grandparents' age, Considering now how fucking, everybody's always talking shit about the fucking boomers and boomers talking shit about millennials and other crap. But, obviously the rules of money have changed, One person in the family, mainly the man, could like get a job at some factory out of high school, and then they have enough money to afford a family and a house, right? That shit's done, and it's over with, right? Times change, Also, like, something that is kind of scary and creepy to think about is basically the inflation rates here in America. 20 years from now, basically, with the inflation rate, things that you can buy with $10 today, you're gonna need $20 20 years from now, right? Because of inflation. So it's like, yeah, you gotta prepare yourself and like just create plans to help protect your money and yourself when you get older and retire. Pretty much you're okay, right? Because if you just, rely on your job, because of the inflation rate, you're basically becoming broke every fucking year. By the time you're at retirement age, you're still making the same amount of money, and like, everything, all the prices have gone up because of inflation. You're literally fucking broke, so, you gotta like keep that in mind. So, there's a lot of things that he brings into perspective that, you gotta like understand about how things are changing and what to do, and just really prepare yourself for the future, right? So, yeah, it's a good book in that sense. The other thing I like about this book, the way how it was written, is basically, he goes from like being born to being a parent, to preparing for having a kid, to preparing yourself to like having a house, what you need, to preparing yourself how to get yourself through college, programs that exist and what you can do, to preparing yourself for marriage, to put money aside for marriage and all this stuff, for how to like prepare if you don't want to get married, programs that you can do to protect your partner, right? That way, if one of you was to get sick, and because you guys are not married, your partner could be in a position that cannot be there to help you. So, there are programs out there that you can set up. That way your partner can have legal responsibility to help you out if you're in a position that you can't help yourself. Say like you're in a hospital or whatever. Preparing yourself for retirement, to preparing yourself to deal with your parents dying to preparing yourself to, you know, there's like every fucking stage that we don't want to think about because we're not used to talking about it that involves some kind of major financial decisions. There is something to prepare yourself with, you know, in America. Like I said, programs, retirement, funds, you know, whatever, right? It also goes into the history of like the American financial system, like how bonds started being because of wars and, you know, this and that, talking about mutual funds, like how they started and so on. So there's like a lot of history introduction, like how that started and stuff like that, right? So like I said, this book is actually really good. I really like the way how it's written. It's really cool and interesting. The thing with me is that I'm at a point now that after reading all this shit, because I mean, like, besides reading books, I'm also like watching videos. I'm going to forums and trying to understand like this stuff, right? And like, I'm at a point now where I guess I know what I want to do with my money. I know what I want to achieve when I get older. I know I have a more defined goal of what I want, right? A lot of the information that was in this book is interesting to read about and know about, but because it's not as necessarily, it's not something that's more like directed towards my goal. So it's kind of like, you know, all right, I read over it. I mean, I read it, but it was not like until like, say like, I don't know, dividend stocks or something like that, you know, where like, boom, or insurance, health insurance is like, okay, then I became more focused on what he was saying, right? Stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot of information in this book, right? I recommend first Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. If you want to get an introduction on finances, learn about that. Get that book first. I think that is a good introduction book. Actually, I got a comment from someone saying that like they didn't want to like they didn't believe in buying like these types of books because they felt like it was all like scams or whatever and stuff like that. And you know, I can understand that. The book says how to get rich in 3 days. I mean, that's stupid. Obviously, don't get that shit, right? But obviously, say if you're watching me teaching you how to edit, then obviously you have an interest of what I have to say because, you know, there's something about me that maybe you want to learn from me, right? Maybe it's the fact that I work with someone like Paul, so that gives me somewhat of a reassurance that I know what I'm talking about kind of shit, even though I don't most of the fucking time. Because I'm in that position, maybe you're interested in learning what I have to teach, right, when I make my tutorials. That's how I feel with these kinds of books. You know, these guys are in a position in life where there's more financial security, so obviously you want to learn from them, right? So that's basically what I'm doing, right? I have a defined idea of what I want to achieve, right? So I mean, what he achieved will be different. It's definitely different than what I want, right? But however, if there's something I can learn from him, then, you know, yeah, of course, I definitely want to read it. But yeah, like, you know, Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad, I think it's a good introduction book if you do not know anything about finances and why it's important to learn about finances. Then after that book, I think you get this book. If you like to read a lot, then it'll be no problem. If you don't like holding a thick ass book like this, then you know, you read it anyways. Fuck. If you're uncomfortable reading a lot, then fuck, good luck to you, I guess. I really don't know what to say, but like I said, like this book is pretty cool. It's pretty much, you know, starts off from like, you know, when you're born to preparing for college, your marriage, having a kid, you know, house or whatever. Right now I'm at the point where like he's talking about like protecting your assets, your estates, right? If you own a house, if you have money, bank accounts or whatever, like if you're at the age that, you know, you're gonna die, then you gotta prepare and have a will, right? Because if you don't, then pretty much like the state, you know, it divides everything for you and then, you know, it can cause problems, right? So he goes into detail, like, you know, what is important to talk to your family, get everything ready, get everything planned before you pass away, right? Develop a will. That way when you pass away, you're not leaving a headache to your family or, you know. So like, yeah, I'm at that point now where it's like, what to do when you die? Because that's basically the end of the book, you know. So after this book, I'm gonna read The Millionaire Next Door. This is another book that gets brought up a lot in the financial YouTube channels that I watch. People think of millionaire, I mean, this is something I grew up with a lot also, is that, oh, you're a millionaire, you can buy whatever you want, you can do whatever you want, you can go wherever you want, you know, that kind of lifestyle, right? The parents, you know, being Hispanic, in case you didn't notice, you know, they watch the telenovela shit and it's like the rich people are always bad and fucking they have everything, but they're evil and all that crap, and then they're thrown good by some random person that lives off the street, you know, bullshit like that. But for the most part, you know, especially me, because I worked in construction for a while, yeah, the people that I work with, they have the most money, they're walking around in sweats, they look like me, fucking all haven't showered and shit for a few days. I need to stop doing that, but yeah, I mean, so I'm kind of interested in reading this book, right? And like, yeah, after this book, I'm probably gonna take it easy on reading because I want to focus on other shit. The one thing I'll say about reading these books after a while, because up to this point, I think I read a total like 7 financial books, right? And like I said, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about how to prepare for retirement. And after a while, you know, it all becomes very, I want to say not repetitive, but once you figure out what you want to achieve and what you want to go for, then it's kind of like, okay, cool, your focus gets directed towards that angle, right? If you want to set yourself a goal to like save $5,000 in your bank account, right? that's your main focus. So you gotta do what you can to achieve that goal. And once you achieve that goal, right, cool. Now you want to save up money for your retirement. All right, so now that's your focus, right? Once you get to that point, oh, maybe you want to start a business. So you're saying that I kind of like have a defined goal of what I want to achieve. So basically, I'm reading information that takes me to my goal that I feel comfortable with, right? Reading books like this that tells you everything that's under the sun in America that you can do to where to invest your money and so on and so forth. There's a lot of information here that I was like, I kind of brushed over because it's now something that I was interested in, right? Because it's not, it doesn't go with my personal goals that I want to achieve. However, if you're a student, if you don't know what's out there to help you, you want to have an introduction to having an idea what's out there, this book is good for that because there's a lot of shit out there, to help you out. It's crazy. There's a lot of programs out there that can help you out. Just, people don't know. These financial books is all about informing yourself and preparing yourself and making better choices to help you achieve your goals down the line. And, I think another thing I did like about this book is basically, everybody, they want to budget their life as if, okay, this much for rent, this much for water, this much for food, this much for entertainment, this much for whatever, right? However, the one thing that people don't fucking save up for is basically life in general. There's stuff that comes up, nothing that's set in stone, nothing that's basically A to B kind of lifestyle. It's just, yeah. That's the thing that I liked about this book too, it's like you gotta prepare yourself for all that shit, because if you don't, then you just basically, yeah. All right, so I'll end with this. Now I try not to get too personal in my videos because I like to keep some privacy. But I grew up in an environment, and when I say environment, I mean just the family and friends and relatives and the people that were closest to me growing up. That's what I mean by people close to me, right? I grew up in an environment where the mentality was very, hey, I may die tomorrow, so I'm gonna live for today. I grew up hearing that a lot, and that perspective, I've seen people blow through money like nothing, right? Well, there's big parties, or they're having birthday parties, or they threw a fucking crazy party for a little kid, and I don't know what, fucking massive weddings. It's just trips, just that mentality of, I don't know if I'm gonna live tomorrow, so what the fuck am I gonna prepare for, that kind of shit. It's stupid. I see now the people that say that eventually end up struggling now that they're older, and then they turn around trying to fucking leech off their kids or something like that, putting them in a bad spot, and that's just, that's unfair as fucked up, right? This book, it goes into detail about preparing and understanding what's out there to help you out, right? Other books, say like these ones, The Millionaire Next Door, where it's more about teaching you the lifestyle of creating for yourself, or just changing your mindset about money and your perspective on life in general, of being more positive. Because for people that are like, I may die tomorrow, so whatever. Obviously that's negative. You're thinking you're gonna die tomorrow? I mean, fuck that, right? People have these kinds of mentality where it's they want to live, they plan on living, so they plan for their retirement, they plan for their kids' graduations, they plan for, when they die, how to set everything up so the kids are not struggling financially, they get everything set up, basically they get their life planned. I mean, obviously things don't go as planned, and you still got to prepare for that as well, right? And that's the thing I guess I mainly learned a lot from these books in general, is basically learning to figure out what you want in life and achieve that, be more prepared, be more conscious of what you're doing. During my early 20s, when I was just partying and having fun, I didn't care about anything else, right? I was just dumb, just blowing my money away. After reading these books and then changing my perspective on life, now I'm basically more full of shit in the sense that if I'm gonna go somewhere, if I know I'm gonna have a beer, I'll take a lift, right? Because I got a lot to lose if I was to get pulled over, and even though if I'm not drunk or buzzed, but because I have the smell, I could put myself in danger. That's the kind of person I am now. I used to be the kind of guy that I used to watch a lot of violent movies or just weird shit and just pretty fucked up depressing stories and all that. But now that I'm more of a optimistic of what I wanted to achieve my goals, me watching that stuff, it kind of brings me down. I don't like it. I like watching more motivational movies and stuff like that, just stuff that keeps me more positive. I kind of noticed that about myself after reading these kinds of fucking books. It's weird. I used to look at people that were oh, wow, you're full of shit, fucking this and that, because I was just some trashy punker kid drinking and getting fucked up all the damn time. But now I'm dude, no. I'm just saying, yeah, my perspective has changed a lot, now that I'm older and I want to, achieve certain goals. And, after reading a lot of information such as this, my perspective on life and money and finances has changed a lot. And it's for the better, and I'm happy how things are going, right? So And you know, you don't have to buy this book, but at least you can go to YouTube and look up about how to set up a finances, how to prepare for retirement, how to like get out of debt, you know, whatever your situation is. There's stuff out there to help you out and you need to figure it out, right? And there's always people out there that's willing to help. There's nothing wrong with asking, you know, maybe calling your bank and asking them for help on reducing your loans or whatever. You know, there's definitely people out there willing to help. That's what they're out there for. It's their job. I want you to succeed. You right there, kid. So anyways, that's it. Take care and peace.